Hello everyone, I'm going to be starting out today's stream with the KV4 here. I had to switch it up a little bit. Usually I start with kind of like a fast tank, but why not try a heavy today? Hopefully everyone's having a nice start to their day here. But today I'm going to be doing primarily tank requests again. So feel free to request away. I was about to say, oh lord. Anyway, we got Malinovka here in a tier 10 battle. I'm just finishing setting up over here. I was trying to... There's a new game that I played when I was, you know, just kind of, I don't know, starting out PC gaming, like, I don't know, when I was like 12, 14, something like that. I mentioned it had a Kickstarter a couple months ago. It's called War Conquest, and I was just downloading that and everything, but I kind of screwed up all my screens I had set up. Anyway, though, KV4 being a tier 10 battle, I'm gonna play it safe at first. Nice to see all you guys. Which there's pretty big news. If anybody hasn't really seen, Wargaming kind of lifted the veil on, I've mentioned it a couple times, they're updating the, basically how you can customize your tank's camouflage. So right now you can pick one camouflage per season depending on the map, you know, summer, winter, and desert. That's still kind of going to be in place. However, if you look on readastatusreport.live or thedailybounce.net, those two blogs, or even worldoftanks.com, the main website, they're switching it to where you're basically going to be able to paint and customize your tank almost however you want it in a way. It's slated, it's not entirely confirmed that it's going to come in the next patch, but they're looking to implement it for tier 8s and tier 10s, tier 8 premiums I should say, off the get-go. Basically how it's going to work is, instead of having pre-built camouflages available to you, you'll be able to purchase, essentially, the tank's broken down into 5 different parts, like turret, gun, hull, I think the track wheels, and something else. So you'll be able to purchase different colors, different textures you can put over it, and essentially make the tank look however you want. Now that does open up, which I'm doing very well, thanks for asking, Daniel. Hopefully everything's going well with you. It does open up things to get a little iffy, say like pink tanks, stuff like that. Now what Wargaming has kind of done with that is, basically when you're buying, you know, these different colors and whatever to put on your tank, which the price, if you have anything purchased already, basically they refund you basically the purchase cost of anything you get, and or, like, you know, they credit you. You know, you're not going to get shafted if you have all your tanks already painted. Okay, so they haven't even pushed it all here. I'm just driving along here talking. So basically it opens up, you know, people like painting pink tanks and like stuff like that, to where they're gonna have 2 different options. You can purchase like historically you know, somewhat accurate camouflages like we have now. You can purchase like pre-built packages almost like that, or whatever you want. And if you don't want to see, say, like, I don't know, you know, a pink KV4 running across the battlefield, they have a checkbox in the settings to where it'll disable any non, you know, historical colors. So it'll disable like the crazy ones and only show ones that, you know, are meant to actually be on tanks. So that's, it's something important for a lot of people, because I saw people talking about it yesterday and like, this is, you know, basically stupid. Well, you have a checkbox if you don't want to see it. I think it's a good way, because, or a good thing, because, you know, it gives people kind of the freedom to do whatever they want with their tanks. And those that don't want to see you know, things that shouldn't actually, you know, be on there as far as camouflage goes. You know, they have the option to disable things. Ouch. That hurt. 183. I shouldn't have been poking out there, but I died. I guess that's what I get for... The KV-4 is decent armor, but once you start getting obviously shot by a 183, things start to go south pretty quickly. Which we do have an ultimate challenge that was bought right before the stream, so I will get to that shortly. I just want to, you know, kind of get warmed up a little bit here. So let me hop into the Type 5 Heavy. Pretty much Merlin. Hello, nice guy, poser, everyone else that popped in, Tommy Gun. Which, as far as the stream schedule goes, this is the last kind of early one for this week that I kind of have planned since I work the rest of the week. It's not set in stone, but I'm almost positive that for next week and going forward, what I'm going to be doing is Friday and Sunday will be the night streams for World of Tanks, and then it's going to be most likely Tuesday and Wednesday or Tuesday and Thursday for morning streams. Same time, you know, start time 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. and then in there somewhere will be kind of the game of the week stream that I was doing, where you guys pick a game and I play something other than World of Tanks. I haven't figured out that time yet. I'll have that, you know, I'll have that set up by Sunday stream, which will be the next stream after this one. Hello, TBG and Mighty. But as far as the customization goes, it's actually kind of a big thing. Wargaming's been working on it for quite some time, where this is almost like a beta test of it in a way. That's why it's only going to be available at first for Tier 8 premiums and Tier 10 tanks. It's kind of, you know, they're kind of seeing if people, I guess, accept it. I'm personally fine with how they're doing it because it doesn't look like it's going to add any cost for, you know, camouflaging your tanks. Anyone that previously has, you know, have their tanks painted for gold, you get basically refund it and you're able to apply them back how you want. If you have the credit option, like the rental, that's going to go away. So you're not going to be able to say use credits to camouflage your tanks for like 30 days, 7 days, stuff like that. It's going to switch eventually. I don't think right off the get-go, but you do get refunded if you have that when this goes live. I believe what they're doing with that is they're switching to a World of Warships-esque system where it's going to be per battle instead of, you know, daily, basically daily limits. So I think that's a great choice because, you know, you're not going to get shafted if you know, use the credit option. You'll be able to basically just apply it for, you know, say 1 battle, 10 battles, stuff like that. Ooh, that missed by a lot. I've played War Thunder. I don't like War Thunder, so not my cup of tea. I don't think it's a bad game. It's just, you know, I personally, you know, 1 tank game's enough for me, and you know, I like a little bit more, say, arcade elements in, you know, these games than I do War Thunder. I don't think it's as fun a lot of times. But I get why people like War Thunder for tanks or planes. But yes, basically the start of this, the custom camouflage we should see in 9.21, which is coming up, you know, in the next week or so. At least, you know, for the initial, like, tiers that they're allowing you to do it with. I'm getting nailed by freaking gold STB, or Strev 103B, not STB. All the way back there. I'm trying to get out of his way, but I am slow as hell. Trying not to... Oh, he's using APCR too. What the hell? Because I have a Scorpion G behind me. It's just like one after another. But, this is only the start. You know, eventually it should come to every single tier. But they're actually adding in... This is kind of the rework to their system. You'll be able to eventually do 3D elements. So think like sandbags, stuff like that. They're not going to affect armor in any way. But it's just something to where this is kind of them switching the camouflage system around. At first it's just going to be paint, but eventually it's going to encompass more than just the paint on tanks. Well, I don't think they'll do custom decals, but I believe those are also switching in a way as well, as far as I'm not sure if you're going to be able to create them, but they are switching that in some way to where I believe any that are on tanks when this goes live will be refunded, I believe, to where there's, you know, I think there's something coming. Let's say gold, 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 gold. Granted, I'm shooting premium HE, but come on, team. It's like they're all near our base. Our Artie's not shooting at anything near me. Where are you going? He's going that way. And he got me. It's just like, come on, people. Why can't you move up? I blocked 6,500 damage and only did 2k damage, so I'm going to lose a ton of credits. Like, if they lose this, this is entirely on... Like, I usually don't blame my team, like, that much, but it's entirely on them. Like, I'm just sitting there, like, preoccupying like 3 or 4 tanks. Like, I really wish I got the M48 out, and they're just standing there staring at the Strev 103B. He's not, I don't know if he's gonna, yeah, he might make it out of this. 4 HP. But anyway, I'm gonna move along here. I'm gonna play the Chrysler, then I'll get to the challenge here. I got a little bit lucky on that Scorpion, to be honest, but I'll take any luck I can get with. I was like, okay, I'm kind of stuck out here by myself right now. Which there's also right now I think it's only on the dailybounce.net, I believe. Let me look. There's actually a new Q&A up. Just it has a lot to do with the new, there's a link to it in the chat. It has to do a lot with the new camouflage. However, there's also other little tidbits to where they're kind of looking to tweak potentially some of the Japanese heavies again. Primarily it has to do with their gun options, which mainly the derp guns. I think what they might do with it is basically change the premium round. I would say if they lower the premium HE, same damage as the regular one, and just give it an extra however many millimeters a pen, say like 30, 40 millimeters at something, which it seems like a lot, but I think if they do that, that will be a good compromise. They're looking to potentially rebalance them, and there's other, you know, a couple things where with maps, they restated. They stated when the HC map sandbox came out, they're looking to remove the mountain climbing, whatever you want to call it. Also, they're looking to reintroduce some old maps maybe down the road, potentially even they specifically said Asian themed, so that would be Pearl River, Hidden Valley, I believe, or no, Hidden Village. Hidden Valley is freaking salad dressing. There's some other stuff there. It's a pretty quick Q&A. A lot of it, honestly, it's kind of like, you can tell it's an official kind of press packet, essentially. There's almost no news that kind of gets leaked out of wargaming nowadays. Well, I'm glad you got bored one day and popped along here, Mighty Gamer. I think I'll be fine. I'd say I had a feeling that I wanted to go, honestly, to the field to begin with, but I'm gonna bank on those guys being alright over there. One thing that isn't in the Q&A that I kind of saw is, so Wargaming Seattle, it used to be called Gas Powered Games. So they're the developers that, I believe it was like Supreme Commander, Total Annihilation, those games, basically real-time strategy games, more or less. They were acquired by Wargaming back in 2013. They've been working on an unannounced project, and really nobody kind of knows what it is. There was a couple little pieces of information leaked basically towards the beginning when they got purchased. It's looking like that project is going to be either leaked and or kind of unveiled or unveiled by the end of the year, most likely. You know, in the next month, maybe 2 months, you know, a little bit early into next year. But it's going to be, you know, interesting to see what they've been developing. Most people feel like it's going to be a new, you know, a new IP from Wargaming. Most likely what was initially kind of, which would be very nice if my team would help here. They're all freaking derping around on, yeah, I'm gonna die here, and bravo to this Centaurian 7. He definitely got me out of, yeah. But like, how long does it take to kill one freaking PZ4TD? I got a little bit too far ahead of myself there, but I was banking on them killing that dude like a lot faster than what they did. Oh well. But it looks like initially when they were talking about what Wargaming had them working on, it was a free-to-play-esque like MMO, RTS, RPG in a way. So something, you know, a little bit different from what Wargaming kind of has now. Sorry, Mighty Gamer. I don't do tank requests at tier 1, unfortunately. So I'm not gonna hop into a tier 1. I'll sometimes go down to like tier 2, tier 3, but you know, I don't do tier 1. It's just, to me, it's just like, not that anyone, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna do a T110E3 for an ultimate challenge here, since I get to pick the tank. I gotta do 3 times the HP total in damage, assist, and blocked. I want something with a little bit of armor here. But no offense to anyone that likes tier 1, I just, it's not my cup of tea at all. I think tier 1 and tier 2 specifically are, you know, I think it turns a lot of people away from the game. I don't think that they're very enjoyable matches. Well, yes, you know, honestly, I stated it a few times, like over the past couple streams, to where there's always been like a lot of negativity in World of Tanks, more so than other games, but you know, it's just something to where, you know, people love to hate the game, but at the same time they love to play the game a lot of times while hating it at the same time. It's confusing, but you guys know what I'm talking about. It's just, you know, it's just something that is wargaming perfect? No, by far they're not. But you know, they have given us an little dog, or not. He's not supposed to be itching. You know, they've given us pretty different games from what were available on PC consoles. You know, on a wide scale. You know, there's World of Tanks, there's ships, planes, granite planes, there's other games with that. Total War Arena, they helped publish that, where I helped alpha test it, but I haven't really popped into the game since, like kind of recently, so I might be picking that back up. I still have it updated and everything on my PC, I just haven't logged in a while. Hello, Marco. Nice to see you. But essentially, with the new kind of project, it's not like anything that's imminent. Like, there's nothing guaranteed, like, which I'm probably gonna regret doing this. Oh, thank God. It sounds mean that I wanted him to shoot somebody else, but yeah. Thank you very much, Zombie, for the follow over on Twitch. I can definitely do an M4A1. So, being a challenge here in T110E3, this is kind of a hard map to get it done, to be honest, because I have to play it somewhat close up, and you know, when you're close up in an E3, you can sometimes take a lot of damage. Ooh, Lord. Please, please, please don't penetrate me. He's probably gonna frickin' penetrate me. Stop shooting me, Strev. Why you gotta hit me right there every frickin' time? I figured, what the hell. Thanks for tipping, Levi. It is Marco, yes. As long as somebody, you can create an account on other servers. Frickin' Strev kinda got me there. Uh-oh. Don't have my repair kit. Ooh, awesome. That was a big hit on him. And he's gone. Oh, yes it is. So far it seems to be the tank. The tank to get me today. There he is. He's like, shit. Ah, he's hiding behind that guy. But with the challenge, I gotta get to 6,150 when it comes to damage, assist, and blocked all combined. I can actually overmatch this freaking Strev 103B across a lot of his upper plate. Just I actually have to hit him. Like, it's not that far behind the JPZ 100. There we go. It's just actually freaking hitting him here. Like, that's my struggle. I'm keeping an eye on my right because there's that TVP. I actually probably should pull back here. I don't know if this guy's still there, but he's still there. Hell, I'll get him. He was getting lucky with those first 2 or 3 shots, but I need to start helping down here. Oh my God. Well, you can gift across different servers. Like, I can gift to every server except for the Russian server. You just need accounts on those other servers, and you need to specifically verify those accounts. Crap, I turned around a little bit too late here. I just really want to be able to get this shot. Thank you for angling. Gonna be no easy task. It's maybe I'm just gonna go this way. These guys need a little bit of assistance, it seems like, even though I'm probably gonna screw up, and I just really need to get this T-110E3 out. 2 HP? Are you freaking kidding me? I flick that over a little bit. Yeah. I'm actually gonna completely... I should have reset to a HE round first. It's just... Okay, he just fired. There's still an E4. There we go. Crap, now there's an IS-7. He's got, what, like 4 HP? What the hell, I'll take him out. Which, thank you very much for the challenge, but I just inched past it here. HE rounds for the win. Well, hopefully for the win. We're not out of the woods yet. I'll chance it here. Yep, that hurt. Come on, team, go, 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 go. No, I don't think he's gonna go. I should beat him, maybe. There we go. It was getting close there. I'm in a bit of a pickle now. It's just this WZ1321. You know, pretty much anything can kill me here, which is a problem. Here we go. Ooh. I have a feeling the TVP's there. Crap. He's got the E4. I don't have any HE rounds left. There already was spot at last on near our cap. Oh lord. There we go. Just, I have a feeling this guy might try to flank us. He doesn't have much HP, it's just... I honestly think we should just hop on the cap if it's, you know, it's up to me. Which, I'll try to catch up on the chat shortly. Oh shit. Shit, 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 shit. I tracked him! Whew. Alright, we got this. Almost 9 kills. Thank you very much for the challenge, though, Randall. That was a fun one. There we go. I got an Ace Tanker Award, Mark of Excellence, Bradley Walters, Top Gun, Steel Wall, and also a Spartan Award. So, that worked out pretty well there. Thank you very much again for the challenge, Randall. Even though I got that one, that was a pretty fun match. Got 1400 experience, and yeah. There we go. That was probably one of my more fun matches in quite some time. But that's why I love the T110E3. The TVP, I thought he was... I don't know why they stayed in the north. I thought they were going to wrap back around. Like, I kept, he's probably going to come up behind me. Which they ended up doing, but fortunately, we got that in the end. But, yeah. Thank you very much for the challenge. Alrighty now. Let me do this up here. Looks like Levi found his tip already. Guys, I'm clipping this one out here for obvious reasons. Here we go. Alright, so let me catch up. I have a few tank requests here. I have a Sexton 1. Oh lord. I don't think I actually own that tank. I do, but I don't think I've actually ever played it, to be honest. I might have played it for one match. I might need to actually put equipment on it, to be honest. But I do own that tank. Alright, so I have a T-54 up here for the next tank request. Go. It's gonna be hard. Well, that sounds like, as far as the base experience, it sounds like you weren't spotting your own damage. I was spotting a lot of that damage. Plus I got an extra, it was like 2,500 or something assist damage, which helped out probably by, pushed me over by a little bit. So... for that one, I'll add an extra 100 Levi biscuits to the next raffle there too. But sorry if I missed anything in the chat during that match, but I think you guys can forgive me for that. 121, I like it. It's not the easiest tank to play because of the gun depression, but it's different enough to where kind of the role having a little bit more alpha, and it has a pretty decent upper frontal glacis and turret front. Yeah, it does play well. It's just the gun depression does hold it back to where it's not necessarily the the best medium a lot of times just because of that gun depression, but it is pretty effective if you're not having to fight against that. I really hope my team pushes here, but I have a feeling that they're not going to. Sometimes the chatbot, it can miss some commands sometimes. It depends. It's not perfect by any means, but do I think? think that guy tracked that. Nope, I screwed that up. I just wish my team would push. We have more people than they do on this side, and they could have piled in there. You know, we have probably 3 or 4 tanks that could have piled in there against the one Kranwagen, and he'd be dead by now. But the longer you wait, I don't like really, you know, yelling at people in a way to tell them how to play, but we literally don't have any other parts of the map. And, you know, the Kranwagen shot 2 shots. It's just, I can't push with half HP. I can't make that, you know, kind of chance to where he didn't reload. It's just, unfortunately, this match, you know, I'm kind of stuck at the whim of my team for actually doing something, because I got myself in a spot to where I really like this spot, but it is very, I wish I didn't have heat there. It is very heavily dependent on your team actually helping you push, which they finally did it. And look, he killed the Kranwagen very, very easily. There we go, I got him to get that shot off. I'll be able to kill him now before he reloads. Come on, or not. That works. See, that was very simple. Unfortunately, a little bit too late because we already lost about half of our team on the other flank and in the center. It's just, you know, one of those things to where if we did that right off in the start, right off the get-go, you know, this would have been a little bit different as far as this match goes. Pretty sure the Grill 15 shot. Maybe not. Definitely playing with fire here. But this Scorpion G got him. Trying to, you know, make up for lost time here. Doesn't make sense for me to go after their 183 since he can pretty much one-shot me. Cool, that was a... You just randomly threw a shot there and pinned me somehow. Yeah, nope, we're done for. This is one of those where I was trying to make the push. Like, it worked me going to the field last stream a couple times. You know, I won 2 out of 2 going to the field here. But not having like anybody over there, which we didn't, it didn't make sense for me to kind of, you know, push in there and just basically sacrifice myself for nothing. But I'm not even gonna bother using a repair kit because I did get another shot off, but yeah, it doesn't make sense to blow it there at the end. Hello, Holy Cow and Gert, nice to see you. I do have the Type 4 Heavy. Yes, I can add that to the request there. It's gonna take me a little bit to get to it. If you look on the right side of my screen, the list, I kind of go top left, you know, and I kind of go in order as far as tank requests. But a decent match there statistically, but really we just got clobbered there. You know, my team, we had enough people on the warehouse side to push it. They just didn't push it enough. Like, I don't like typing out mini speeches like I did there to get people to move it, but maybe I should have done that earlier, at least like ping the map or something. Hello, Rich. Nice to see you. But the way that you know, I didn't have the enemy push on me, which thank you very much, Nanad, for the subscription, and thank you very much, Joe Biden's hair plugs, for the tip as well. Thank you very much. That name always gets me. Which I haven't seen Joe Biden in game for quite some time. I guess maybe he changed his name. He was like my arch nemesis for a while. So Levi has a pick. Why don't I'll play the tier 9 Conqueror here for Levi's. It's all good, Randall. Hey, I was trying to get some Christmas shopping done after the stream yesterday with a few of you guys talking about it, and I haven't really found anything. It's so hard to buy, honestly, for your parents, and also Ryan for her parents. It's really hard to buy for your parents, you know, when, you know, they pretty much get everything they want, but I'll figure out something. My go-to, usually I got my dad, like, gardening stuff, because I helped him start a garden before, it was a few years before I, you know, moved and bought this house. But he's kind of winding down on that since he's getting a little bit older. Okie dokie. So there's one SPG, not really a terrifying SPG. Like, when there's only one SPG, I typically don't, not to say I ignore it, but until it starts shooting me, I'm not gonna really change how I play. Like, if there's multiple SPGs, I wouldn't go out here in a Conqueror, but yeah, I'll head over here now. Lorraine can't, you know, take off like 9,000 damage. I'm exaggerating there, but... are gonna have a tough nut to crack over here. Probably should have waited for that. Honestly, I'm not gonna push as far as, you know, you typically can. Centurion has a pretty decent turret, so do I. I also have a pretty decent upper glacis. I'm just gonna chuck an HE round or two at him because M48's turret is, oh, I think they buffed it a little bit too much. Like, I would argue that, you know, it's one of the top, I'd say top 5 tier 10s right now, especially for public battles. Alright, that didn't work. Our TVP, he just basically suicided. But we're actually in a bit of trouble here. Even the Centurion Action X, they buffed its turret front too. So it's, you know, it's not a surefire thing, even with, say, an APCR round to actually penetrate it now. Just one of those things where before, you know, I could have just popped the M48 anywhere almost in its turret front with this tank. But nowadays, not so much. Be very nice though if our team would move out of the base. That's always a problem with this side. But we're still alright. As long as they don't push from behind, we're pretty good here. They kind of forgot the two-prong approach of their... They all switched, which, you know, if you're pushing a flank and it's going well, you can't all switch to go to like the secondary, you know, the secondary flank, which I'm actually too far out here. That's why I'm taking damage. Come on. Follow me. Nah, that was terrible. Which now, M48 came back. We're both screwed here. Yeah. Nice hit. Basically, I shot through his track and hit his upper plate there. But I'm not even gonna... I could swap over to APCR, but I'm not gonna do it. I missed way too many shots to get that happening there. If I had penned most of them, it would have been different, but I was basically shooting them right in the beak and the upper plate on most of those tanks, and they were more or less with the Conqueror here. Compared to the tier 10 one, your upper plate's still pretty good, but they were shooting my lower glacis there. The cupola they weren't penetrating, but you can given that the Tier 9 Conqueror is a little bit less armored in the turret. Just a pinch, it's still strong. You can penetrate it in the front if you have a decent penning gun. But, oh well. Mighty Gamer, I see that you tip Levi a biscuit. It just popped up in the it just popped up in the chat. I can't tip him during a match. I don't have like an automatic biscuit chucker here. So but yeah, honestly, Serene Coast, like, they've tweaked it a couple times. I hate playing from the northern flank a lot of times because you go, little dog. I'm just gonna leave it for him and he'll wake up and find it in a couple minutes. Thank you for tipping him, gamer. You know, if I find from the spawn I was at, I think it was the northern, yeah. If your team doesn't take that open area where I went to, I find it's pretty much game over, because there's so much more cover if you lose that side for the enemies to push up right next to your base. Whereas the other team, you know, it's a lot more open, and there's really only that trail, or not trail, the train track with the one kind of train carts near their base for cover. So it's a lot easier. It's still not good by any means if you lose the, you know, the other base, if you lose that open flank and you only get the peninsula, but you're able to recover a lot more from it. But I definitely didn't do myself or my team any favors. I missed probably 4 shots I should have hit there. Well, please don't do, you know, don't go too crazy at tipping Levi. If, you know, if he does start getting too much on streams, I will kind of cut things off. There's just only a certain amount I can give him of these in a day. I need an autoloader for Levi biscuits. Not the shot I wanted, but I'll take it. I critted him 3 times. I would say one of them was probably... This is why I didn't want to get that shot, because I needed to get to this side. Yeah, I knew he was going to hit me too. I just... Whoa, you do not want to push there. You're even going to give him cover if he kills you. I'll keep whacking him now. I love shooting IS-7s in the side with Hesh. That space armor isn't big enough to save them from a Hesh splash. Plus you critical hit the hell out of them because it's not super thick. You know, IS-7 relies primarily on angles for its armor. So unless you know, hit it in the turret front where it's thickest, you can do a pretty good amount of... I don't know why you're sitting there with 6 HP, but that's honestly dumb. Like... He should have just pulled back. He would have still been alive. You can still pop out there if they take shots and, you know, they miss. Well, he would definitely like a whole bag of treats, but I would... he would definitely get sick from them. They're pretty much pure salmon in a way. To where, you know, he can't eat too many of them. Just because it's like, you know, it's like almost pure meat, what's part of these treats. I have to break them in half for him to eat them properly, honestly. But he can get 15 a day as far as Levi biscuits. Not particularly just on the stream, but as far as in general. He's on a pretty strict diet until we, you know, get his everything under control as far as allergies and stuff. I could lob him a biscuit with a spoon. Be very nice if we have a lot of people, you know, kind of near our arty, which, you know, it's all fine and dandy. But it'd be very nice if, you know, these two people would push down that way. Because I'm kind of stuck here in this little corner. Our T-57 most likely is going to die. And, yeah, we're not really set up to... I could have taken that shot. But... cool, I am really glad he did not see that he could shoot me there. Uh-oh, this T-10. That's a different story. Oh, God. Come on, guys. Like... you just do me like a favor here and actually... I need to actually hit my shot. I didn't help us out there, but like... what does it take, like... that sometimes, like... I guess he's going for arty, but like... it doesn't do you any good in a Strev 1030. Like, because he could have set up right there, or right over here to, you know, hit these guys out in that area, and I could have strictly focused this way. But it doesn't help you in a Strev 1030 to basically go out on your own, because you're just asking for trouble. But I missed, you know, I missed the 2 shots this match. I did 2,700 damage, but those missed shots did hurt my chances. Hello, Vasa and FRB Games. Nice to see you. But I've actually been thinking, the only thing stopping me is it is pretty expensive, but technically with Fuzzbot here, you know, the chatbot I use, I could set things up to where if you guys say purchase certain things or use a certain command, it would do I even have a crew for this? Maybe I do. Alright, I'm not gonna put optics on here. I have not played this tank in like forever. Do I want AP? Holy hell, there's a lot of shots on this. I'll get a couple. I'm probably not gonna use them, but you guys could, you know, say change the color of lights in my room. Pretty much anything. It's called like if this then that, as far as like lights and stuff go. But here we go, Sexton 1 tank request. But yeah, I think that's getting a little bit too intricate. Like, that would honestly distract me quite a bit. Hello, Matthew, nice to see you. But yeah. Alright, hopefully this is gonna be good. I have not played this tank, I don't even know how long. This is the premium SPG that nobody knows exists. I don't have them, Randall, but you know, that's the thing, you know, they're freaking expensive for a light bulb. But I could get them if, you know, and hook them up, and it does work with Fuzzbot. Merlin, that happens sometimes, depending if you're too zoomed in, and say there's a piece of cover right behind where kind of your camera is, it'll do that. Just zooming out fixes it, or if you zoom all the way in. Pretty much any like third-person game will do that. I like just handing Levi some treats here. I don't need him getting too, honestly, spoiled when it comes to treats, to be honest. He already kind of associates the computer room with treats, which is a problem. I'm gonna kind of wait and see before I move anywhere. Right now my team, I'm probably gonna end up in the 1, 2, 3, 4 line, since that's where most people are heading. Guy's not moving as much. I'll take a shot at him. Very nice. I have a request now for the other premium SPG that everyone knows. The LEFH 18B2. Nobody likes to talk about the Sexton. Well, for obvious reasons, like it's tier 3, so it's not as prevalent as the LEFH, but also not that many people bought this. Which one thing we will be seeing somewhat soon, if community contributors got access to it, of course. Me not being one, I don't have a test account, but the T92 light tank will, like Quickie Baby, Surfosh, you know, etc., they have videos of it out. That will be coming out within, I would say, the next, like definitely by the end of the year. It should be in the advent calendar for the holidays, you know, leading up to Christmas and New Year's. Basically, you know, you have a very mobile light tank, but at the same time you don't have that much penetration in the grand scheme of things. Hey, I thought he was gonna pull back. And no. Honestly, with shots now, it's kind of like, where do I want to shoot? Especially with a tank that doesn't have, it's not like it's a T92 splash radius. I'll give it a shot, but I don't think I'm going to do anything. My most requested tanks, I'd say the Object 140, probably the Type 5 Heavy, Mouse, E100. For me, it's a lot of tier 10s, and also I would say my most requested tanks are typically a lot of like the most well-known tier 10s. The 183 gets requested a lot. I have one coming up here from Matthew. But also I get a lot of tier 6 requests, it seems like, and 5. Tier 5 and 6, and then I get a bunch of tier 10s. But I would say, you know, there's nothing too particular that stands out. Which, a decent match in the Sexton for, you know, what I was given there. Himmelsdorf, low tier, but as long as I win, I'm happy for that given match. So I have an M4A1 Rev here. But I think that boils down to, in a way, like, I don't know how many tanks you have when you stream, but I want to say cucumber since you told me that's what it means. You know, I actually have, what, 277 tanks now, I think it is. You know, having that many, you know, it's, you know, I get a bunch of different selections to where I rarely play, you know, every single one of my streams is different. It's not like I play the same tank over and over, like trying to 3 market or stuff like a lot of other streamers do. I actually tried to fast forward a live stream the other day too. I was watching, what was it? I forget the game. It was a different game. I just like randomly clicked the game that was like trending on YouTube gaming, and I was trying to fast forward to skip past like in between the battles, and I'm like, ah, shit, it's live. Alright, I'm glad cucumber works. As far as the raffle goes, I'll do one after this battle. I see it's the first hour here. I got the T-54 first prototype, Type 4 Heavy, IS, LEFH, and the FE-183 coming up here. I'm gonna slip in maybe like a Skoda T25 or AMX 30 prototype in there too to get a match or two in. Yeah, fat chance of penning a lot of things this match. So one thing I don't like about the M4A1, it does lack a little bit of penetration. You have a good amount of gun depression and also you know, damage for a tier 8 premium medium, but you know, the gun penetration to me is a little bit low for, like, I get it, you know, it shouldn't have like 300 millimeters of pen by any means. It just, playing this, I know a lot of people like it and it can be played well, but to me it's not my cup of tea, because here or there, you know, playing this, you know, I can try to make it work, but if I had to play this, say, just solely grinding out for credits, which I'm not bashing this tank much because it is a good premium tank, it's just, at least from the way that I like to play, like, this does best kind of mid-range, a little bit longer distances, because you're, you know, an M4 chassis at tier 8, a lot of times fighting tier 9s and 10s, to where you basically can't get shot. Unfortunately, your gun lacking a little bit of pen, also shell velocity, and a little bit of accuracy, it makes doing that role, you know, a bit difficult. To where it works if you're like shooting mediums, lights, you know, the sides of heavy tanks, but outside of that role, you're kind of boned. I like, you know, tanks that can kind of fit into a bunch of different roles when needed. Like, yeah. Penning this guy is next to impossible even with heat for me. He's angled a bit. There is that one little corner. I'm going to give it one more shot here. There we go. So I got 15 HP. I can HE him now. It's just a little bit too many drawbacks in a way. But when it works, you know, this tank can pump out a ton of damage, which I probably should have expected that to happen, but he wasn't shooting me earlier, and he should have shots on me up here rather than me pushing down low. So I guess he was just holding his shot. Not sure. I'm keeping an eye on the base. It is pretty wide open, but I guess I'm gonna head back there because I'm not able to push on the PZ7 now, so I guess I have to hope that my team's able to push and kind of get through here. Hello CJ and Dana, nice to see you guys. Only one tank line to grind? Huh. Like, if you mean just owning that one tank line through and through, I would probably go with the American medium line, to be honest, up to the M48A1. Only because you have good mid-tier tanks. You know, you have the M4 Sherman, technically the Jumbo and Easy 8. You also have the Persian, that's a solid tank. You have the M46. You have the T20. Uh-oh. Come on, dude. I'm getting shot here. Not good. I'm probably gonna die. Why did you run away? It didn't look like he lost his clip. He didn't really shoot anything. But now I can get RD'd, and we can't spot their light tank. He was smart going up to the... He went up to those ridges there to where we can't spot him because he's outside the view range. Oh well, I just have to hope that they didn't push correctly. So I don't know how well that's gonna work. That light, for whatever reason, popped. Okay. Wasn't expecting him to do that. He would have been able to keep shooting us, to be honest. Crap. He's gonna go. Okay. Wish I didn't have HE loaded for that, but I'll try to help you, dude. JPZ I don't think will make it up in time, but alright, so I was still spotted. Or that was a really damn good guess. I think that was a really damn good guess. Now I'm one-shottable. Crap, dude. And I missed him. That's not good. Now I'm gonna die. I'll at least... I'll say I'll at least try to slow him down, but nah, we blew it kinda. Oh well. Well, yeah, like the M4, they buffed it recently, or in Mortal Tanks terms recently. It's just, on paper it looks really good, but to me the penetration is what kills it. Strictly because, you know, if it had preferential matchmaking, it would be too good with the stats it has. But, you know, it's kind of hard to give it more penetration or really anything at this point, given, you know, I guess, you know, they're tossing out like real world values, so giving it a little bit more pen would definitely help it. It's just, that's really the only thing that it doesn't need much, just like maybe 12-15 millimeters would honestly do wonders for the tank. But there's some people that play it very well, and I'm usually not that person, to be honest. I don't play the M4 very well, just because I get myself, you know, the combination of gun depression and a good gun. Sometimes I play it, say, like other mediums with pretty good gun depression, but you can't bounce anything off of that turret. And that's where, you know, getting smacked once or twice just ruins your game. Hello, John A. Nice to see you. Well, yeah, the T-54E1, the pen is a pinch low on that. But at the very least, that tank for its tier, you know, it is a standard tech tree tank. You have a good amount of HP to work with that. And your armor, while not great, it can work, you know, in a pinch against tanks lower tier than you. Whereas the M4, you know, say even like tier 4s came up across it, you're going to be able to penetrate that thing. But the T-54E1, it actually grew on me. Like, you guys saw me grinding that earlier this year. And at first, I kind of hated the tank, but towards the end, I actually kind of like playing it now. It's definitely a very up and down tank, all kind of dependent on how you position yourself and, you know, if you take the right risks. But at the end of the day, I thought it turned out to be a pretty surprisingly nice tank, where I, you know, starting it out maybe for the first 20 or so battles, I absolutely hated it. Okay, I got my E100 here. Even though I'm not going to be able to do much on this side, you know, being a tier 8, I can at the very least push their E100 back. I didn't see, you know, many people head to the 1-2 line, so it didn't make sense for me to head out there. But having someone out in the town to kind of, you know, be not like an anchor, but, you know, have a different vantage point always helps. Now the problem being the northern spawn here, we didn't get the hill, which is why the northern spawn typically wins mines, because it's much easier for you to get the hill, and at that point, you know, the southern team, they have a tough time really doing anything, because their TDs get spotted, their SPGs can get spotted, and, you know, it kind of, it's like a domino effect. With us losing the hill, you know, it becomes actually pretty tough for us to get this now, especially because we lost basically half our team trying to win the hill, and yeah, now we're just bleeding tanks left and right. But what happens when, like, I don't mind being like say a tier 8 in a tier 10 battle, or you know, given any tier, bottom tier, but you are very heavily reliant on your, you know, higher tiers to kind of, you know, basically lay the groundwork and set up, you know, the map well for your team. It didn't really work out well here. I could have pushed the hill, but you know, this tank isn't the fastest thing in the world, so I didn't want to chance it. I probably should have, kind of looking back. See a defender's moving up. I don't have a spot on that guy anymore. It's just, you know, it's one of those things where unfortunately this match isn't looking so hot for me. It is what it is. We are shut out right now. Yeah, and I missed that. That was my let's get one kill at least team shot. Yep, I missed that too. Hey, he's actually using premium rounds at this point. Holy shit. Like, I was mainly keeping APCR for that E100 and Defender, but that guy must really want to kill me. I don't have any. I forgot to get my consumables to auto resupply. And yeah, we're not going to get a kill here. We're going to get shut out. Even that Defender was throwing APCR. I'm surprised by that. Hello, Goku. Nice to see you. It'll still be really important, Randall. The hill. It'll just be a little bit easier to fight up there. I feel like there's more cover on the hill from, say, SPGs, so it'll be easier and a little bit more viable to get up there in like a slower tank. And the town side, that, you know, the rock on that corner where their enemy 100 was, that gets reworked a little bit. It gets extended a little bit, and they add like a archway almost. Not an archway, but like a pillar. So that gets a lot more arty cover. So it'll actually be, you'll be able to fight around that corner a little more safer, or safely. But we just got freaking stomped there, which I need to fix these consumables before I forget to do it again. I would have been able to get one kill. I was destined, or trying my best to freaking get a kill there, and it didn't work out. Anyway, let me hop into a grind before I get to the Type 4 heavy here. Go to T25. Hello, Abdul. Nice to see you. We almost got shut out, though. But as far as the Leo, or no, the Lee gun, the Lee, and you know, the Lee in general, tier 4, it's a very quick grind, but it's one of the better tier 4 tanks, honestly. You know, if you can play it decent. It's just not a medium. It's a tank destroyer in World of Tanks. You basically, with the Lee, you have one of the best guns for a tier 4 tank, and you gotta kind of use that to your advantage and play more or less like a TD. You don't want to play, you know, like a medium tank, say like zipping around and stuff like that. You have to set up in spots to be able to get shots off and just mow things down. Thanks, Matthew, for reminding me. Winner gets 800 Levi biscuits here for the raffle. Oh crap, there's only 1 minute. Gonna be a quick raffle. It's a 1 minute raffle. I'll do another one here. I forgot to switch the time. So you guys are lucky. You're gonna get 2 raffles here. Hello, Falix. Nice to see you. But, you know, when it comes to matches like that where I'm bottom tier and it doesn't work out, it's partially my fault, you know. It does take a team to win, but, you know, I don't get, like, say, angry at Wargaming and, sorry, dude, I'm one of those people that are sitting directly behind someone. Didn't mean you had to shoot me. You're pretty much a dick for doing that, but yes, it's my fault that I ran right behind you, but you don't have to frickin' shoot me like that, dude. I hate people that do that. He's lucky I'm not someone that, you know, shoots people back, but alright, I don't think anyone's gonna get down here at this point since we're a little bit late getting here. Congratulations, Randall, on winning the Flash Raffle. I'm starting another one here, so feel free to rejoin, everybody. On. There we go, I got 2 out of 3. So, for anyone confused, I messed up the raffle, the first one. It was only a minute long. So if you joined in the first one, you can retype and join into the second one here. This one will last the usual 5 minutes. Hello, DJ, nice to see you from Serbia. Okay. They're going to be pushing south. That should leave open this area here, so I should be a little bit safe to pop up. Awesome, no fire extinguisher, he's goner, so E25 is next up on my list. That worked out pretty damn well. Alright, on to the T-34. I'm hoping this... no, that TD to SU-100 was in the north. I should be able to flank this T-34 pretty effectively. Come on, I need some HP. Tried to track him there at the end. I should have just kept aiming more to my left. Pretty good match though. 1200 damage. Sprinkle of assist. So far I'll say these, you know, it's only tier 5 and 6 at this point I've been through on this line here. You know, I kind of like the tanks, but in a way, you know, I'm not finding them to be, say, as effective as others. But that's, you know, just my personal opinion. I got top 3 damage here on my team. Pretty good for a tier 8 match. It's just, I often find just the height of this and your gun being, it's, you know, it lacks a little bit of pen sometimes and accuracy to get your shots off quick. You can get yourself in a lot of trouble, which I have a good knack at that, but it's still a good tank. I'm just even though I just ground through a bunch of unarmored and light tanks, I'm still kind of finding my way with lightly armored things here or there. Well, yeah, really, you know, any game has like the toxic element, like regardless if it's tanks or, you know, like Call of Duty, Battlefield, or even like League of Legends, Overwatch, stuff like that. You know, it's just people over the internet are, you know, basically assholes. They're hiding, you know, a lot of times behind, you know, name that's not their real name. and nobody knows who they are. So I have a, you know, I have a tendency to feel like I try to be nice to everyone. It's who I am, but I tend to be nice even to people that are being assholes, because you never know when someone like goes nuclear and, I don't know, tries to like ruin your life or signs you up through like, I don't know, if they know your email, or I don't know. You never know what happens. There's crazy stories out there. I do not have the LTTB, sorry DJ. But when it comes to World of Tanks, I feel like a lot of the negativity, you can just avoid it by honestly not reading the forums a lot of times, because I'm really surprised. This is kind of the first game, like, you know, I've stuck around World of Tanks for, you know, longest I've ever in any game, but I see the same people, at least on the NA forum. There's more than just a handful. There's a couple dozen, which congratulations, Victor, on winning the raffle. If you want to see which tanks I do have, DJ, this list here that's going to pop up after my message has all the tanks I can play. There's a good amount of people, at least on the NA forum, that don't play World of Tanks anymore. They even state, like, in some of their like conversations and messages, like, oh, I haven't played this game in a year or 2 years. I hate it. And yet they still hang around the forums and, like, you know, complain about wargaming or the game. If you don't like the game and you don't play it, why are you still posting on the forums? That's what I don't get. But you can avoid a lot of the negativity by just, you know, avoiding that. And honestly, if people, you know, annoy you in game, like team kill you or something, you know, I find it easier just to brush it off and move along. It's like turning off the chat. That's a solution too. The only reason I don't do it is I do at times, you know, like to think that the chat does more harm than good. I think turning off all chat, you know, between the teams was a good move in the, you know, in the grand scheme of things. It does suck because when you see someone that you know on the enemy team, or you want to, like, say, congratulate somebody on the enemy team, you can't do that anymore in game, like in the battle. But I typically avoid chat unless I'm trying to work with my team. I don't necessarily want to push. That E5 most likely is in the 0 line. Now, I use the standard gun on the Type 4 because I feel like the standard gun is better than the derp HE gun with the Type 4. Sorry, T-34 behind me, but it would have been nice if you did not take that shot. I just find you know, you get a lot more DPM with the HE gun, but I don't feel like it's enough to lose, you know, your standard gun here, especially when you can still HE the hell out of people with this gun. Not as effectively as the, you know, the pure derp gun, but still fairly good in the grand scheme of things. I need to start backpedaling here. I just don't want to get shot by the T-34 if I don't have to. But also being tier 9 instead of 10, you know, you do face lower tiers a lot in this, so where if you're using the howitzer gun, and you know, you come across, say, like a tier 8, or even a tier 7, and you hit it with the HE gun, and you do like 400-500 damage at most, to me, you're wasting a lot of the potential of being a tier 9. Whereas, you know, using the standard, what is it, like 139 millimeter, we'll go with that since it's 0.7 gun. I knew it was some weird number. You know, you can get more reliable damage. Sometimes, you know, you do wish that you have the derp gun, but Come on, team, they're almost at the base. Like, I'm not expecting to, you know, live here. Mouse, and you're throwing APCR at me, so I'm just going, I'm going premium here. As long as we just cap them out, we'll be fine. I'm not liking the tortoise shot. Okay, I was gonna say logs do not protect you. But at least we get a nice little win here. Fortunately for us, if their E5 would have pushed on, you know, pushed on us, I would have struggled, honestly, dealing with him. Got reset. We're not out of the woods yet. Switched up his angling. He's learning. Hello TJD, nice to see you. Fortunately for me, now this is, you know, an instance where it would be nice to have the howitzer gun. But it's not like we're in a dire situation. Hopefully that will cover. Did 37 damage, oh yeah. I'm trying to put that little pillar, or I guess it's part of the wall there, right where like that angled piece of my kind of front, in between the front and the side armor is. It's HE him down there. That way he wouldn't aim at this because I wasn't angling it properly. At least that was my plan. Who knows if it actually worked. But an alright match here. Not too interesting because, you know, they never really pushed into us on this flank, but all in all, our team did a pretty good job. We only lost 2 tanks at this point. Kind of wish I had AP now because I could shoot through this, but I don't think I'm gonna get a shot at, you know. Hello, Alexandru. Vlad, nice to see you. But top 3 damage in the match there. These 2 guys did a very good job. Specifically, I was kind of watching the other flank. The 30B, AMX 30B did a pretty damn good job at winning that for us. So let's see. Still got personal reserves. Next up, I have the IS tank for tank request. Go. I actually have not hopped into a battle in this yet. You know, I ground through it like basically in the first 4 or 5 months of playing World of Tanks, but I just repurchased it back. Hello, Yosef. I remember people doing that, Floyd. Maybe one of those matches was you. Which I said a little bit earlier in the stream, but as far as my schedule for streaming, should go back to a set schedule, excuse me, next week. Basically, it's going to be this Sunday will be a night stream starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but then the morning streams, the next one after this is going to be next Tuesday, 8 a.m. start time, like today. And it's either going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday. I haven't settled on that yet as far as the early stream goes. And then my following night stream will be Fridays. So I'll be streaming going forward. It looks like, barring like holidays, because I believe Christmas is a Monday, so Christmas Eve I wouldn't be able to stream on Sunday. It'll be Friday and Sundays nighttime, and either Tuesday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday for the morning stream. And then in there somewhere, I haven't figured out a time yet for that, will be the random game of the week, something other than World of Tanks stream. Hello Rang Putra and Matthew and Almog, nice to see you. Got those tank requests up. Which I still have to figure out exactly. Doing something. I didn't do any giveaways like I typically do every year. I typically do it for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and sometimes like Valentine's Day and stuff. Wargaming typically has like, at least in the US, a package giving away Valentine premium tanks. I didn't do any of that this year. To where Christmas I will. Like, we're not going to be able to run away at this point, Leo. So you should just stay here and fight with us. There's no arty, so as long as we show a decent amount of force here, I'm actually going to stick with HE because I don't think they're going to push. But to me, it does not make sense to run away at this point. If there was arty, I probably wouldn't have pushed up here, but with no arty, it's a little bit easier to kind of bluff your way through things and hope that your other flank pushes fast enough. This guy has like the perfect shot at me. But so far, you know, the PZ-58's doing a decent job at holding him. Got another hit on me. His T-34's, I was trying to help him because he just crested it. But this Leo is not helping, like screaming, fall back, fall back. Like, dude, like, we didn't lose this flank. We could have been up here to help us, but at this point it doesn't make sense to fall back still. I would just be losing out a chance to do a couple more shots worth of damage here. Would have been nice though if our other flank, but they could have pushed. I'm a goner. Still eked out, you know, a little over 1200 damage, but it's a little frustrating when people run away. Right in the beginning. But yeah, would have been nice though for the other flank to actually push. But in the grand scheme of things, part of the reason I didn't run away is if you tally up the amount of tanks that they have here and we have here, we're down by, I think, just like maybe one tank, at most two. Those odds you don't run away from. Once you start doing that, you know, it's just like a domino effect. So these guys over here, they were up by like one or two tanks. Granted, at this point, now that we're seeing a couple more, we were down by like three, maybe four tanks. But it was still, you know, you don't want to compound it by basically pulling out, running away. Like the Leo wasn't the only one. There's a couple other people sitting pretty far back. Just because without any SPGs, it's not like you have that tank capable of helping you from across the map. So you have to kind of help your teammates out in that sense, because you're not going to inflict enough damage and you're just leaving yourself and the other flank at a huge disadvantage number-wise. Ooh, I actually think I butchered that crew there. So I actually don't have an SPG crew anymore. So I guess I'm going with a 80% crew here in the LEFH. So I don't want to spend gold right now to retrain a crew. Hello Gabastar, and nice to see you again, GG. Long time no see. The Batchat 12T, the tier 8 one. As far as, like, I enjoyed playing it because I ground through to get the AMX 30 medium from it. you know, you do lack a little penetration being a tier 8 light, but you know, I found it to be more good than bad. You definitely have those matches because it is a little sluggish in a way for a light tank, because you're mainly like a flanker and like you pump damage out, kind of run away. When you're against 9s and 10s, it can be a little tough, but for the most part, I found it more fun than frustrating. I'm doing pretty good. How have you been? I think it's been a couple months here. I know it's you because you have the same, I believe the same YouTube kind of avatar here. I'm gonna bank on my team holding this flank, but you know, not having 100% crew here actually, you know, it hurts me and my team. But I'm not spending the gold to retrain a crew right now. When it's on sale, though, I have plans to pick up some more tanks and get some more. Oh, he actually hit a tree. You gotta be careful on. It's Redshire and the American maps that have these very thick trees, like live oak trees, I believe, hence the name. Where I think that's the species name. You can't plow through them, especially in a light tank. I like the honestly, me personally, I like the French lights over the mediums. The mediums still probably are the better ones, unless you factor in like the lights. They do a little bit less damage, unless you have a little bit more time to work. You know, kind of weaving in and out of the fight. But you know, the French light line, I just finished that grind, you know, a day or two ago, to where you can't go wrong with it at tier 9 and 10. This is really gonna be painful. Like, I already mid-tier Artie I don't play too well, because honestly I don't play Artie that much, but the lack of splash damage for SPGs and given the non 100% crew here, it'll be a problem for me. Well, a break from any game, especially World of Tanks at times, is definitely a good thing. Makes the game feel a little bit more fresh. No problem, Gabastar. I should have, you know, this is my last full week of work here, so I finally don't have as many things, you know, kind of sucking up my time. But I'll be able to finally, I'm starting out with my which tank line is right for you guide. I'll be able to update that. I'm going to switch it around a little bit too, to where I'm going to try to shorten it a little bit. Still keep, you know, a lot of information for each tank, but I'm going to shorten it up a little bit to where if you have any questions as far as like how I think a tank plays or just the general grind of a tank line, you'll be able to hop over to that and see basically every tank in the game. Which this is going to be, honestly, a this is going to be a pretty bad loss here, but you know, this is a very good SPG, but I don't know, I suck at SPGs, to be honest, when it comes, especially mid-tier ones. Doesn't help though that I don't have a full crew going. He's gonna spot me well before. Yeah, I'm gonna take a shot here because I'm about to get annihilated. I don't really like the alternate view. I only really use it when I'm like shooting on a hill or something. I just, you know, I'm perfectly fine with the top-down view. Some people prefer the alternate view. I personally like seeing more of the map, or the, you know, view from top down. Somehow I did top 3 damage, but that was a bad match for my tastes. But anyway, On into the FV183 here. Luckily we won more Ivanka and the IS. Hello Mojo. I think I didn't say hi. I think I have like short-term memory loss sometimes. The IS though, I got a 3rd class. I haven't played this since Mastery Badges came out. Yeah, I'll take that. I did a pretty good amount of damage, and hey, the Leo, even though he ran away, he or she, I'll give him credit, they did a good job. But the 1390, they carried us there. But it's actually kind of funny at times, like when I look at my service record here, like some tanks, like Scorpion G is now the most played tank I had without an ace. It used to be the Batchat, but like certain tanks that don't have these mastery badges, I actually have not played since mastery badges have come out. And they're the ones I've kind of been going down the list and repurchasing them. So I keep getting requests for the AMX 1375. The M7 Priest I haven't got any requests for recently, but I'll be purchasing back. These are next up, kind of on my list to get. And then further down, these, you know, there's 20-something battles, 30 battles. These aren't too important. Mainly American tanks, because that was the first line I went down there. Type 59 is still the most played tank. The T92 is creeping up there because that's really the main SPG I play, along with the M53, M55. But that's how many battles I played in these two guys. They were my first tier 8 premium tanks, and you know, so many battles in those things. Most experience now was that FV 4202 match yesterday during the stream. But I always like looking at my stats now and then. Just, yeah, it's interesting. But even though you guys don't say it a lot, I do get asked tier 8 premium tanks, which would probably be the best to get. Lorraine 40T, even though it's newer and I don't have, say, like 100+ battles in it, that's definitely, in my eyes, one of the better tier 8 premiums, as long as you're good with mobile tanks. Well, you are right there, Carl. Which, Floyd, I'll say this to anybody. Even if you kind of get, say you hate getting shot by SPGs, don't think that they're in the game. Like, some people are really vocal about that. They think Wargaming should remove them. Gotta give it up at this point, guys. Not that I think any of you guys are like that. But when it comes to SPGs, even if you, say you hate playing against them, I would say, I don't really like the way, I think mid-tier SPGs are a little bit boring to play because you're missing a ton of shots. I would say tier 6 is kind of where it starts getting decent to play them. It doesn't hurt trying to play one SPG line, even if you just play it like a match, once a day, once every few days, and slowly work through a line, because it'll help you play against SPGs. You'll know where you can get shot from. Say if, like, I would say the American line's probably the best one to go down if you're just going down one SPG line. American, and then tier 2 would be French or British. It helps you play against them, and even you might end up enjoying playing an SPG match here or there, but for the most part it does help you learn where you should set up. Like, a lot of people, take Abby for example, a lot of people don't realize that they always sit behind D1 coming from the north, and they sit behind there and they're like, I have tons of cover here. On this map, most SPGs from the south here, they end up setting up in the base right on this side, because a lot of times your team has a lot of people in the 8 line, especially coming from the south, and that's a prime spot. Basically every single time that the team sets up there and there's arty, you're gonna get freaking artied to death. To where, like last stream and the recent streams that I've been coming from the northern flank, you've kind of seen me play more towards the edge of the 2 line on this side because less arties set up over in K1 and K2. So it's just one of those things that it does help you kind of play even outside of SPGs. Yes, I agree with that too, GG. Part of the problem I have here is that this is not a bad map for the FE 183. I'm just I'm terrified of the FE 4005 and also the JPZ 100. He's already there. Can't even talk. I'm so like terrified of getting hit by mainly the JPZ, but yeah. I keep hearing Levi kind of move around behind me. He did not want to get up today. We had him. We took him for probably like maybe a mile or two on the beach yesterday. He was very pissed off that we would not let him in the ocean. A little bit too cold for that. I'm gonna take a blind shot here. Don't know if I hit anything. We'll see after the battle goes. Okay, the FE 4005's on the other side, so I gotta wait to see where this JPZ. He moved, so I will gladly push up here. I guess got the sound bug. God damn it. For anyone curious why the in-game sounds sound different now, it's a stupid little bug introduced with the last major patch they did that, you know, it basically screws up any sort of headphone and or like surround sound. Okay, the T-54 is coming my way. Very nice. I'm actually going to use a Hesh and then I'm going to swap to AP here. I would need a little bit more reliable damage. If I can kill this JPZ, that would be awesome. Nope. Awesome, the JPZ missed. I'm gonna try to save you, T-54. I'm opening myself up a lot here. Crap. Not good, not good, not good. Holy crap, he's using heat. This is not good too, because I only have AP loaded. No! No! Fine. Oh crap, I was just about to shoot too. I fucked up there. Excuse my language. He should not have killed me. I held on to my shot too long. Because I could have penned him right next to the gun here with AP. But yeah. That's completely my bad. So I have to restart the client here because yeah. Whenever it pops, it just honestly it drives me crazy. So the screen's black here for a second until I restart the client. Uh-oh. Hitting me, wargaming. Give me a second here, guys. I closed the client, but it's like, oh, it's still working. No, it's not still working. Come on, let me restart the game. Okay, so it's gonna be an extra minute or two here. I'm just looking at a black screen. I had him, I very stupidly held onto my shot too long. There we go. The Wargaming Center is like, oh, you're still running the game. No, I'm not. I closed it. But the bug in my ears when it pops and the sound kind of goes out, it honestly, It's like this, you can't really hear it, but I've said it a few times, like on OBS, it just like, oh, it's annoying as all hell. Hey dog. Yeah. Oh, don't worry. Here we go. But sorry about this, guys. I'll hop into the AMX 30 up here. Alright, but honestly, the JPZ, he shouldn't have got me there. That was bad on my part. If I had Hesh, it would have been a no-brainer just to derp him anywhere to kill him, but with AP, I was trying to make sure I didn't bounce, and I held on a second too late. The command to gamble is a flip coin. Which I give Levi biscuits, so I automatically win every time. After this, though, I'll do another raffle coming up. Hey, dog. No, going in and out of the room does not mean you get another one. Honestly, you know, it just might be me looking into things too much, but he'll do things like that when he gets a treat. And say he's just like coming into the room, or like I sit down on the computer for the first time, he'll like go and retrace his steps and come over again, like stare at me, and he's like, do I get a second one? It's adorable. Okie dokie, let's see how this goes. This side's hit or miss. I play this side all right, but usually only when I believe Labobo's on the enemy team. I think it was you, Labobo, I came across. Yeah, it's all good. I wish, you know, I probably should, in the video description, add in all the commands that, you know, get used regularly. I think that would help out. So I'll probably end up doing that. That's not good, but I need to go help him even if I take a shot or two. Just chasing down something in this tank, your accuracy isn't that great. Alright. I'm content with staying here now. Kept trying to track him, but, you know, he had actually a pretty good crew on that, from the looks of things. Alright, I'm actually going to head up this way, because our team's pushing hard here, but they have a lot of heavies on this side. And our team, you know, they probably can win that other flank very easily, but they need to push together, which they're not. So crap, I don't have enough gun depression to hit him. Luckily that Skoda, he could have got me there. Let's pop him. Now he's coming back. Right. I wanted to shoot Skoda, but hell, I'll hit this guy. And I have to tough it out here. Crap, 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 crap. I don't even care if that thing's a tier 8. It's basically a tier 9. Unless you're like fighting it at long range or shooting it in the side. The VK, it still has one of the highest win rates for a non-premium heavy tank at tier 8. Or not just heavies, tier 8s in general. For regular tier 8s, I believe it's always that, and also the IS-3 in a way always has the top win rates for its tier. Once you factor in premiums though, things get skewed a little bit, because typically premium tanks only, you know, more experienced players tend to own them, and it skews the win rate just a little bit. But the defender is pretty much at the top for tier 8. So, oh, no, 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 not in the face. I saw he had the non-derp gun, so I stayed out there a little bit longer than I probably should have. So far, so good, though. That wasn't good on my part. I was angled a little bit too far there. Should be able to scoot by here before the Oni reloads. I'll catch up on chat in a moment, guys. Let's help out this Oni that can't point his gun down enough. I know that feeling. He's actually very aware that I'm here. I'm actually going to... Right? He proxy spotted me. Crap. Not good for me now. Nope, 0 damage critical hit. And he got me. That happens so often. I'm sure everyone knows that feeling. But I'm playing a tank that... Honestly, this is almost as inaccurate at times as a T-34. Your on-the-move accuracy is alright in the grand scheme of things, but your overall accuracy in the AMX-30 prototype's pretty bad. But we got this though, unless they completely go full on fail. The way that they do maps sometimes is there's only a certain amount in rotation, so you know that's part of the reason. Like for certain tiers, you see the same maps over and over sometimes. I believe they didn't change that recently, but as far as HD maps go, there should be a sandbox test coming by the end of the year, and in that we should see Fjords and Erlingberg, what other ones, and basically more like winter maps we should see in the next HD kind of sandbox test. Got a mastery badge 2nd class here, top damage on both teams. I'm going to start a raffle here too. All in all, I made a mistake there at the end, but yeah, if I didn't hesitate and kind of stop and then push, I would have made that corner. Alright, so I have a T1 heavy up here next. But as far as maps go, I would say we're probably going to see the HD map update. It'll probably be the first update they do next year. So think end of January, early February most likely. Well, as far as that goes, I kind of said that when I think they're going to put the HD map update out before they're finished them all, so they might remove a couple, like that first patch or two. That's just, it's a guesstimate. At this point, since they didn't put it out in this update coming right before the holidays, more or less when HD maps get released, we'll have at least, it looks like 20 or so maps, so the majority of maps that you have currently in the game. If not, they may finish them all, honestly, at that point. And there was a recent Q&A. I posted a link earlier in the stream. It's over on the dailybounce.net. They are, open and looking to implementing older maps back into the game. They specifically said Asian, so think Hidden Village, Pearl River. I personally would like to see South Coast or Port added back in, but they have thrown around Dragon Ridge around. Granted, they would need to change that map a lot, but aesthetically, I have a feeling if they are going to implement older maps in the game, it will be Asian ones, because the Chinese server Not that it's like, you know, say a server that people can play on unless you live in China, since it's kind of operated and closed off more or less. Like Wargaming doesn't operate it directly with how Chinese laws goes. You know, that server population is pretty healthy and it brings in money for Wargaming. And, you know, we saw Chinese TDs get implemented because of that Chinese server, to where maps are probably the next thing up as far as things that they're working on for specifically the Chinese server. But at least we'll get, you know, the benefits from more maps. I personally enjoyed the maps they removed. They were quirky, like Hidden Village really, it was primarily a one flank map, but the two maps, like the two flanks, the center and the town, could be used effectively. You just didn't want to put most of your team there. Dragon Ridge was kind of the same thing, but I thought it was a fun map because it was so different than any other thing in the game. And Pearl River, I think what did that in, even after they reworked it was such a complex map that it was very hard for people to just kind of take it all in. So most people just drove straight out of the spawn and basically went the shortest route possible. Well, as far as the new graphic render, like it's coined as HD maps, but basically it's a new graphic render they're doing. Specifically, like the lighting gets improved, so it actually helps the way tanks look as well. It's pretty much going to run the same, if not better in a way. Like say you have a weaker PC, but your CPU, you know, you have a, say you have a quad core CPU, but a pretty weak GPU. You should actually see it perform a little bit better on the same settings, and the same settings look a hell of a lot better. Even low graphics, I would say the lowest graphic settings for the new what's coined HD map update, it's not as good as, you know, full out max currently. It's close, I'll say. Just the way that they change pretty much the look of everything. It looks, you know, which congratulations, Cucumber, on winning the raffle. So anyone worried that their PC is going to be able to play or not, you don't have any worries. It's probably why it's taken Wargaming this long to implement them, because not to say it would be a death sentence for the game, it wouldn't, but it would murder Wargaming's bottom line if they basically hurt, because World of Tanks is a very easy game to play without like a very strong gaming PC, and a lot of their players fit into that kind of category. They would be really stupid if they alienated them. Got the toaster, me versus the toaster. Let's work all again here. I didn't think I'd have to work today. The amount of people that don't know how to frickin' toast bread at my restaurant is too damn high. Given my HP, I'm just gonna go plop my butt on cap. We're up by 4, but I don't want to be the one that dies. They're struggling trying to flip each other over, it looks like. Or I don't know what they're doing back there, but looks like they're grinding up on each other, doing something down there. Down by the water. I have a dirty mind. I'm fine with capping out here. I have no idea what they're doing down there. Well, as far as, say, China making their own maps, I believe you know, they can actually develop their own maps, which I got a mastery badge first class here. Much better than yesterday in the T1 heavy. Most amount of damage on my team, even with me kind of checking out in a way towards the end. I could have gotten more damage, but me dying was more plausible there. Basically the way that the Chinese server set up, so as far as I understand, gaming companies in China, it has to be run by a Chinese company. An outside company can't necessarily run, I think it's not even gaming wise, but I think in general a Chinese company has to basically be in charge and run the day-to-day operations. In wargaming, it's kind of similar to say the NA office, you know, in a way to where they manage the NA server, but it's not like they develop anything. The Chinese branch of wargaming, essentially, I forget the name of the company that runs the server over there. You know, they do have more influence than, say, the NA office, to where, you know, they're the ones that kind of push for the TD line, and, you know, they definitely have the larger player base than NA, but they don't specifically, you know, develop stuff there. That's still just wargaming, basically, you know, Minsk. I would say if you had to try a Russian line, I suggest the IS-7 line. At the very least, if you start hating that line, you can kind of go up and stop at the IS-3 and be perfectly fine. But I would say the IS-7 line if you had to pick a Russian line to do. Well, when they switch the maps over to the HD update, they rebalance pretty much every single map. They're all going to play differently, which is why I'm very patiently waiting for the update, because I'd like to, you know, map strategies I feel like are the guys I need to update first, you know, with all these changes coming soon. It's just I need to wait to see the final versions before I can kind of switch them all. But every single map basically is going to be rebalanced. A lot of climbing spots are either removed or those areas are kind of tweaked a little bit. Like, I wouldn't be surprised when they redo this map specifically that we'll see basically this area change pretty significantly, and it might be opened up a little bit more. I'm gonna get myself in a lot of trouble here, but oh lord, that went like super duper far right. I'm actually going to, never mind, he died. Run away. Ah, he shot me through there. God damn it. This, our team is, we are really outnumbered in the north, and we have 3 tier 8s sitting behind us here on this flank. You really want to push me? You don't have all your shots. I actually need to reload. I thought he was going to push on me, but he's not. Unfortunately, though, his 2 flank maps, they don't work on World of Tanks as far as I'm concerned. This is one of them, to where usually the team to lose the north ends up losing the match. Hello, not really Hillary Duff. It's a different username. I'm not sure. If they haven't, though, a little tidbit that most people miss in the next updates, patch notes, is they fix almost all of the kind of mountain goating spots for more maps, so it should be removed by the next patch if it hasn't been already. Sorry, IS6, I am ditching you. We're tied, but weakest area because we still have 3 people basically in the base. It's still our north here. I don't know what this super person's doing, but oh god, that was actually too close for comfort. Oh god, it's just I'm trying to figure out where I want to push, but it doesn't make sense for me to push north hard right now. Oh crap, there's a Scorpion G. You are so freaking lucky, dude. Yeah, this AT-15, I should have shot him. That was my goal, but yep. I'm reloading, dude. I'm really sorry. And now he, yeah, I'm screwed. I should have shot him. I wouldn't have killed him, but I didn't do any damage to that frickin' Scorpion G. Yeah, I'm a goner. But yeah, that's what happens when, more or less, like, it's not just this map, but when Artie's not a factor, not that Artie plays too much of a role up here. Say, like, I don't know exactly what we had. Say they had 8 tanks here and we put 4 tanks there. There's no SPGs. Pretty much useless doing that in a way, because more likely than not, unless you're the lesser force wins, you're pretty much giving them 4 tanks to kill, and you're 11 versus 15 a lot of times. But with us having people sitting back here, and they did help us win this flank, we never were able to push this flank to basically turn the tide and actually get an advantage. To where matches like this, pretty much you're screwed, more or less. Okie, so we have a Sheridan up here, RU-251. Then I'm gonna hop into another grind here. Granted, RU-251 is technically, I'm grinding that. You and me both, Mojo. Yes, it's where seeing the rework for Erlingberg. Honestly, it looks fantastic graphically, but I like the changes they did to Erlingberg with the little preview for that map. For anyone, moderators, basically what you do, it's new. If you're hovering over the chat, you just hold down Alt. You can see remove, timeout, or block. If you hold Alt and hover over someone's messages, you don't actually have to hit a menu anymore. I don't know if it works on standard YouTube, but it definitely works on YouTube Gaming, that chat. Alright, so I'm in the Sheridan. Really wish I was from, playing on the other side, but see how this goes. I don't like playing light tanks from the south here, just because typically you don't get into the center. And even if you do, it's harder to fight. And nobody's heading to the field, Lord. Yeah. This is going to be wonderful. At least I should be able to get a shot or two on this AMX AC-48 here. And I shot too high, and yeah, he got a free pass there. I should have just hung on to my shot there. But I'll admit, I do not play the southern side very well. Neither does our team, it looks like, because they're basically camping the corner. At least I have a few more tanks in the field to where I will try to peek out a little bit if they keep moving up, but this side, specifically in the town, your team often falls into the one-line trap to where sitting in H1, J1, G1, it's hard to push out of those spots unless your team where our E5 is. I'd like to get past you, please. Okay, I guess not. I know that you have shots there, but I would like to push up just a pinch more. Go, he's a goner. E100 light, he's pushing the center. He's no shooty. A little bit of a risk going on this side, but yeah, he actually finished him off. Kudos to that guy. Oh Lord. I saw him coming, but I was trying to fix my gun and everything. This was such a bad match. Alright, so before I get to the RU-251, I'm hopping into a slower heavy tank. Right now I'm not keeping up with fast tanks, to be honest. Alright, I'm gonna hop into the KV4 since I'm grinding it, then I'll get to the RU. If anyone does want to request any more tanks, feel free. I do have time for like 5 or 6 more requests, I think. But that whole match in the Sheridan, I was like 10 seconds behind what I was actually doing. That's where, like, I'm playing the like AMX 30 prototype pretty well. Like the Skoda T25 I'm doing okay into, but faster like mediums and lights right now, I'm kind of burned out on them, like, honestly, since I just did like 5 or 6 grinds essentially over the past several months. Honestly, like, it's kind of burned me out when it comes to those types of tanks. But anyway, moving on to something slower here. Alright. And of course it's Malinovka. Exactly, I spawned on the southern side. First match of the stream here in the KV4 on Malinovka. Hopefully this outcome's a little different. I'm not gonna push down here given that there's plenty of tier 9s and 10s. No arty helps a little bit, but with how slow this thing is, I won't make it across that. Beachy. Yeah, didn't hit him. I tried. I'll gladly chuck a few HE cells down range, as long as I have a chance at hitting somebody. E54 might get into that spot. Okie dokie though. Our team, like, I slowed down a little bit there, but if you have a few shots on the enemy base, you still kind of have to keep kind of pushing if you want to end up near the hill. Because without any SVGs, I hope that either we keep killing people in the base, or we can pull some tanks from there, because even though we're up by 3 tanks, our hill right now is very sketchy, to say the least. I'm not sure I even want to try to go up there. Yeah, there's a 263. I can't pen him from the front. Neither can any of these guys, specifically where they're at, unless he shows the lower plate. this is gonna be a pretty big problem. I'm gonna swap over to APCR, but yeah, this is... Our lead is quickly gonna evaporate here. They're actually gonna spot me too, because I'm not gonna be able to reverse fast enough here. I'm just gonna keep firing, because I don't know why you pushed out there, honestly, Strev S1, but to each their own. Hey, holy crap. I guess credit him, at least. I need to get back there. I don't think I'm specifically going to get back there, but I will try. Like right now, accuracy is not in my favor at all, but we're actually still ahead. Like, we're definitely in a worse spot than we were before they pushed, but we're not necessarily out of it. Last HE shell. I honestly don't want to use too much of my APCR on these kind of iffy shots. Keep angling, please, please, please. A little bit more, a little bit more. I missed them anyway. I can pen him. Go. Okie dokie. Pen him now, so I'll pop up here. Not that me penetrating the Centurion 7 is a very good chance of that happening, but there we go. No longer a decoy. He was showing enough of that lower glacis to where I took a chance and it worked. Let's say I think I killed the chat. I keep kind of poking over. Okay. Or maybe my YouTube chat froze, who knows. So far so good. This guy pulled out a little too far. So far at the KV4 I only have like a handful of battles in it, but you know, the main thing, like, I think the 107 gun on it, it needs a little bit more accuracy. Not even like on the move accuracy or aiming time, it's just the overall accuracy I think should be knocked up a pinch. But it's not that bad of a tank so far. I was a little bit worried. Where you want to do that, FV? He keeps pushing out to that spot, like it wasn't working. So, to each their own. Oops. There we go. I was right. I killed my YouTube chat. I froze it. Oh Lord, I missed so much stuff. Hello JT, nice to see you. I'm glad you stopped by. But yeah, I had a feeling it wasn't even scrolling for Levi's messages, and I'm like, something's wrong over there. Honestly, when you're low tiers though, low tier matches Brave, like in this, you just approach it a little bit differently. Like, I lower the bar a little bit, what I expect, but like I basically played this somewhat safe. Like, I didn't push up on the hill. It's just, you take a little bit less risks early, and then even if you are low tier later on in a match, sometimes, you know, you can outperform, say, a tier 10 and a tier 8 if you have like 500, you know, 700 plus damage, or not damage, HP over them. But like this match, 1600 damage, tier 8 in a tier 10 battle. Long as we win, I am perfectly fine as that. Fine with that. Yeah. Oh Lord, I am struggling this morning to peek here. But middle of the pack as far as damage goes. I'm happy with it though. Lost some credits because I fired quite a bit of APCR, but at least my YouTube chat's working now. Now we're back to the RU-251. Now that I hopefully fixed the slide of my light tanks. Hello, Kang. Unfortunately, I don't have a Chinese TD. And hello, Axchiller. Nice to see you. The KV4 is noticeably faster than the TOG too. Not by much, but it's, yeah, the TOG 2 is in a league of its own now. The Excelsior, I actually play the Excelsior pretty damn well. It's definitely not the, you know, on paper it's not the best tank, but you have pretty good frontal armor, pretty good rear armor, no side armor to speak of. You have good mobility for heavy, decent gun depression, and the gun, the main problem you have with that is lack of overall pen and also a little bit of accuracy. It's more or less a very good bully when it comes to fighting tanks without a lot of armor, say mediums, lights, and if people aren't like spewing premium rounds at you, this is gonna hurt. Ah, he didn't get enough damage off of him. Yeah, this guy's gonna get me. Oh. Hoping. This guy's not loaded yet. Got him, fortunately. Here we go. A little bit worried there for a second. I can still get RD'd, unfortunately. And also, there we go. Thank you, team. The T-49, I specifically kind of positioned myself so he'd run into me. I didn't want him zipping by and not taking any damage from any teammates. At this point, I need to get myself off of the hill here. It's gonna be easier said than done because I'm not confident that I can get myself down a cliff without killing myself. Especially with died. Yeah, this is the easiest spot to get down. Just trying to spot for my TDs, but I personally want to get, I guess I can get off of the hill now over here. I want to get myself away from the fight a little bit more, so hopefully I can get by here without like stupidly ramming my teammate or something. I could spot off of the hill, but with that T-34B there directly beneath the hill, he would proxy spot me in the spots to where I could spot like their FV-183, their RD, stuff like that. So it doesn't make sense for me to stay up there trying to spot because, you know, one tank just barely grazing me with HE or, you know, already hitting me is pretty much game over for me. I did not want to peek out there again. Very careful, Scorpion G. But I'm actually going to switch again now. I'm going to push the other flank because... Sorry, Scorpion. Should be able to get by him with how slow he is. Oh, Lord. Yeah, there's a rock there. I started looking at the frickin' mini-map. IS-3 shouldn't be paying attention to me. T-34B, but he's not pushing up just yet. How are these guys not? How are you? Like, it's RT-57, he just got set on fire. Like, how do you not see this IS-3 directly behind you? Like, we have 3 people on the hill. Oh my lord. I hope that doesn't come back to bite us too much, but that was... Where do I want to go? I think I'm gonna head down here still. I know the rocks, they put that rock there, you know, a few seconds before I was driving that way. We're up by 5, but we have so many low HP tanks, and they still have a Type 4 and a Type 5 that this is scary. Oh god. Alright, they killed the FV. I'm gonna take a slight gamble here and try to use my petiteness. But even though, you know, in the beginning I lost pretty much all my HP, me just surviving that was my main goal. Long as I survived it, which I barely did, against that T-49, I helped my team get the hill, which is probably the most important thing to do in a light or a fast medium on this map. And I didn't kill myself after that, which is plan number 2, or I guess task number 2. Ooh, I knew I was kind of still spotted, but he wasn't aiming up at that point to me, or at me. So I got 3k damage, 700-ish assist damage, 4 kills. Whew, I'm moving a lot that match for such a small map, but it worked out. Granted, it could have went completely different had the T-49 killed me, but he had the alpha advantage, and I thankfully got a few shots in from my teammates. Got a mastery badge first class, top 3 damage, top 2 assist, or not assist, experience, and made a little bit of credits on top of it all. I'll use a couple tiny reserves here. I'll just go with that one. Alright, so let me add something to the chatbot shop here. Then, see, I was going to hop into a grind for, I guess played the KV4. I want to get one more match, I think. I'd like to unlock another tank here sooner than later, so yeah, I'm gonna hop into the Skoda T25 again. Then I'll get to the Excelsior and the Lukes. Hello, Dylan. Nice to see you. Next raffle so far, we're gonna get 1100 Levi Biscuit Pot, which even though my next scheduled stream, it's just gonna be tomorrow. It's gonna be 7 p.m. start time and run till 10 p.m. because I work the following day. You know, I may pop on sometime after that and before Sunday's stream. We'll see how things go. Is there a specific Chinese tank you would like to see, Dylan? I might be able to fit it in after the Excelsior and the Lukes. You know, I may pop on just randomly, whether it's for World Tanks, World of Warplanes, something like that. Even Destiny. We'll see. Okie dokie, bottom tier. I like fighting down here. It's just, when you're bottom tier in a tank with no armor, you're kind of stuck like trying to snipe across tier in a way, but They don't really have any spotters right now. I don't want to get myself out there spotting, to be honest. But nothing. I find the south to be the best place because the ice road, I don't really go there unless I'm in a tank like say a T110E3 that you can sit at the top, defend it, kind of peek over and shoot people without taking shots back, or you can still push it. It's very one-dimensional, this map. You fight straight on here essentially, head on. It's all basically brawling flanks. There's a little bit of like horizontal gameplay with, the center area here, but this is deceptively a map that's very unfriendly to tanks with no armor. So I really hope that we're able to negate their defender here. I don't even think I can pen him, to be honest, which is a very big problem. Like, I even have premium rounds loaded up here. Yeah, I'm only going to be able to pen him if he gives me his side, which, fortunately, that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Man, I'm so lame with my sayings. Can't even freaking HE the side of a jumbo Sherman with this tank. But, yeah. Let's see how... I don't think he's using the top turret. Maybe he is. Nah. Where the slight accuracy problems come into play for this. We be screwed. This is gonna be a very short and pathetically low damage match. 300 damage, but hey, it's one of those maps to where, I like Mountain Pass, but at the same time, it's not even our team's fault, honestly, this one. Yes, we could have set up a little bit differently, but when you're stacked against, that's where people ask me, like, is the IS-6 is still a good premium tank to buy? I still think it's good in the grand scheme of things. I still like it as a premium. However, our IS-6 setting up down here against their defender pretty much was immune to, I would say, everything but the T-44's premium shell and the IS-6's premium shell, only if the IS-6 was further away from him, because close up you can't pen the lower plate shooting down into it. So in that case, the defender is honestly a little bit too strong, which is why they're not selling it. We're pretty much just screwed over from the get-go, unless we kind of outplayed and tricked their defender. But they played it right there. They pretty much just pushed right into us and smashed us, into the ground in the first minute or so. Unfortunately, I don't have the IS-2 Fevin. Like, I will, I'll play a Chinese tank since Dylan asked to. It's just, I don't have the Chinese there. Yes, you can push across the bridge. You are right there. I've tried that before, but I don't pull that off. I don't trust myself doing that. The only thing I kind of like to do otherwise, but being, a tier 6 and a tier 8 battle, it's not like you're saying a tier 8 fighting against tier 10s where you can do a little bit more in that case. I'll sometimes push down the ice road fast to get kind of like under the bridge, just to kind of annoy the hell out of them, because you can shoot, whether you're north or south, or spot anyone trying to get you at the bridge too. But in that case, nothing could have done differently there. But Excelsior here, top tier. I'm gonna try to play in the town and hope things go well. The AT2 kind of scares me if he fights me head on. just because sometimes a lack of accuracy, he's going to be able to pen me, even with his kind of dinky gun, but I'd have to flank him. Brave, you know, take a break. You know, if you're having a frustrating time, sometimes, you know, having a solid tank to fall back to helps, but you know, sometimes it's just not going your way in a day, and you know, picking up a different game or just dropping a game for a day doesn't hurt. Or even if like you have any interest in like World of Warplanes, it's honestly a very fun game to get into at low tiers. The field doesn't matter too much in the grand scheme of things. Crapola. I missed that. Right now I have no clue where their tanks are. Like I have a feeling they'll be basically in the 7 line, but I don't want to push too soon. Makes sense for me to push there either. They probably have a bit of TDs in the field. Come on, PZ3J. You know you want to do it. Alright, KB1S, thank you very much. Churchill. Flat turret front is not doing you any favors there. Oh god. What are you doing, IKV? Take your shot and run. Take your shot and run, dude. Thug G. Oh, thank you very much, Hetzer. That was a very pleasant surprise. Pushing here a little bit sooner than I probably should. Hoping no, I don't get hit from the field very much, but he's what I was looking for. He's got this standard gun. Unless he starts chucking out gold, I should be fine. But with the penetration on this, I'm not going to be able to do much against him. I do need to not show him my sides. Banking on my team giving me a hand here. They didn't get that guy. Go. Come on, oh shit, he swapped over to APCR. There goes my armor advantage. This is no bueno now. Yep. Please stop shooting. He's shooting my side. There we go. It's just... It was an okay match. I could have done better there, but at least we got the AT2 out. That was the only kind of hurdle we had left, but I could have, after we won this, I honestly could have pushed out a little bit here to spot these guys, and we could have shredded them, but once he swapped over to APCR, the Excelsior, you know, playing it, penetration and accuracy is really the only barrier for you to do well. You're only going to face up to tier 6s. Your frontal armor and your rear armor is very good, so just don't show your sides, use your gun depression, mobility, and kind of try to bully tanks without any armor. In this case, I was fighting primarily their, AT2, what is it, the Churchill T14 and the DW2 I got shots on. They pretty much have, as far as their team goes in this match, the most armor on their team, which you're either going to spend a crap ton of money shooting APCR at them, and you're honestly going to blow a hole in your wallet, or you kind of have to just set up to kind of bounce their shots in a way and just hope that your AP or HE does something to them. But it's one of those tanks to where it is very effective against tanks with no armor. So you play it more like a medium, but do keep in mind that your accuracy is pretty abysmal, especially when you're turning your hull. So you kind of have to set yourself in a spot, hope they bounce off your frontal armor without using premium rounds, and just basically chuck down, as many shells as you can downrange. But yeah, that last mountain pass match, it's just, if you're in a tank with no armor, bottom tier, it's hard to, facilitate something yourself. Hello, Destruction. That's nice. That's a nice keyboard. Alright, so you would like a Kronwagen. Okay. Instead of a Chinese, that works. You have to turn down the quality of the stream, honestly, if you're watching over Wi-Fi. 720p is probably best for that. But, or if you're on your phone, which you probably are, you're at 480p, I think. But, not exactly a ton of damage, but our Hetzer, he got 2 big shots in, which helped out. So I have a Luke's up next here. But the Excelsior, in the grand scheme of things, it's difficult to play like a true heavy, but statistically, it's one of my better tanks, to be honest, as far as average experience. Like, I only have 18 battles in it in the grand scheme of things, because I like buying a bunch of, I've had this since it's come out. I have 89% win rate. In the grand scheme of things, I like getting a ton of different premium tanks, but anything outside of tier 8 I don't really play unless either you guys request them, or at times I'll be like, oh, I really want to play this tank, so I play it once in a blue moon. But it is fun for the role that it plays. Which, see ya, Cucumber. Thanks for stopping by. Would see ya, Commander's not leaving. Okay. Well, I would say never sell a premium tank. That's kind of my rule of thumb. Never sell a premium. Never sell a tier 10 tank, because you're just blowing a lot of credits doing it that way. But, more or less, if a tank's not working for you, sometimes switching equipment up a little bit helps, but, it's one thing that might help with the Excelsior is, even though, I'm saying, playing it like a medium and stuff, in any tank, if you're struggling with a specific tank, try just to play it a little, don't camp, but don't play a tank as aggressively. Say, instead of pushing, if you're pushing this flank, pushing here, far, in a medium or light, just hang back a couple more squares. Kind of not in the camping, sniping role, but kind of on the second line role, because it still gives you opportunities to kind of back out of a bad situation, or, slightly move over a little bit to the left or right to get a better shot. Where even if you're not even a specific tank struggling, but, just having a bad, session in World of Tanks, just, hang back just to, say, 30 seconds more from where you initially intend to go, and definitely keep an eye on the mini-map and try to pick the best spot after, both sides kind of dig in and, kind of set the kind of the battle lines. I'm definitely playing with fire here, but I'd like to get here. I should be able to hit that guy without getting blasted by all the tanks that are right here. Well, as far as watching the stream in 1080p, it just, you can do it over Wi-Fi. It's just, in the grand scheme of things, I stream at, sometimes it bumps up to like 55 kilobytes a second. So depending on your internet connection and your phone, say tablet, it can be a little bit difficult unless you're wired. Thank you for turning that way. I was expecting to get hit there. Don't drown this time. I will try my best. No promises. Ooh. Just lob that in there. I'm not going to do a lot of damage, but one of them will hit. Which the changes they're doing to Erlingberg, they're actually... the river is going to be traversable for most of it. There's going to be, you know, areas that are sloped, like the banks, that you won't be able to get up across the whole thing, but they're basically expanding both sides of the town a little bit, and they're switching the outside areas a little bit to promote, you know, they're going to be a little bit separated, and it's hard to explain. There's a video of it, but it looks awesome, the changes that they're doing to Erlingberg. It's still, you know, gonna look kind of the same, but it's gonna play a lot more dynamically than it does now. I should take that shot, but take that. But much better match here than the last one I had yesterday in this tank. I don't know why I reloaded, because we just won. You're watching at 240p? Yeah, Windstorm, that's the map I drown a lot in. A lot of people do it, because it has that sheer drop into town. Pretty decent match though. Master Bad second place, top 2 damage. Pretty quick and easy one for our team. These guys really, you know, they really brought it home for us with 5 and 9 damage there. But our team did pretty good, just pushing. Alright, so I got a Kronwagen here, then I'll try a Chinese tank. Kind of running low on time here, because Levi and I have a couple things to do today. Honestly, sometimes enabling encounter mode and assault will help with that. Like, I always leave them enabled, but unfortunately, Dylan, I don't have any Chinese TDs right now. Yeah, I have a full tank request list. It's in my video description. Has every tank I have on it, but I don't have Chinese TDs specifically. Basically don't have German TDs outside of premiums, Chinese TDs, Russian TDs, French heavies. That's the, and then like some SVG lines outside of the American branch. More or less everything else I own at this point. Oh, all the leaves, they're still sitting over there. My township, they come and suck them up and take any branches and stuff. It's just my like zone isn't until like right before Christmas essentially. So right now our whole neighborhood, Levi loves it. He just runs around in leaf piles that are like 3 or 4 feet high. He just plows right through them. on our walks. Like our whole neighborhood's just lined with leaves. Some of them know, like I bag and bring to the recycling center if I'm like cutting the grass or something. I'm gonna try to get out in front of this IS-7 because I'm hoping none of these 183s or the FE 4005 stage 2s over here, but we'll see. WZ, please, please, please let me get past you. Freaking kidding me. Looks like he shot me high and freaking pinned me on my turret. I don't know how that's possible, but he could have shot in between the gaps there. That was not in the plans. Yeah, that's my bad. He just shot me in the turret side. Honestly, I am playing really bad right now. Hoping that they don't push right now on us. The TVP is thinking about it. Yeah, we're gonna be boned here unless trying to get him to bounce one more. Holy crap, I didn't think he had another shot. I misjudged that. I'm dead. Ooh, nope, I'm still kicking now. Now I'm dead. I shouldn't have pushed out there in a Kranwagen. It doesn't play well on flat ground. DPM's low. You only have turret armor. It's slow. It's tall. Yeah, that was stupid. I'm gonna do a raffle here, and then I'm gonna play a Chinese tank, and that's gonna be it for the stream today. Winner gets 1100 Levi biscuits. But that was dumb on my part to do any of that. What do I play? I'll play the 121 since somebody asked about it earlier in the stream. Why not both? SPGs sometimes can help if you're, you know, having a bad, you know, session in tanks because, you know, while you may or may not win or lose, it's less dependent on you sometimes playing in a SPG, but you still get like consistent battles in SPGs. But this is going to be my last battle for the stream here. Sorry, Mass, I just saw your request. I missed that. Hello, Gary. Nice to see you. I don't think I've seen you in chat yet. Brave, do you play on the NA server? If you do, make sure anyone that plays and you're on the NA server for PC, go to tankrewards.com and basically sign up. It's a wargaming website, but you can get free stuff, specifically free if you play a decent amount, say like 3 or 4 days a week, free tier 5 premium tanks. You get free gold, stuff like that. Dylan, you know, as far as my streams go, I don't really, like, I do grind tanks. Honestly, I'm finishing up 4 lines right now, but specifically on every single one of my streams, unlike other streamers, I pretty much do primarily viewer requests, so you guys pick the tanks the majority of the streams. Like, I'll mix in a tank of my choosing every now and then, or, you know, a tank I'm grinding, but I, you know, unfortunately, or not unfortunately, I have a lot more going on than just, you know, say live streaming, and, you know, I can only do it 3 hours is the longest my streams go typically, and I will be streaming 4 or 5 days a week in the winter here, but I can't do anything like, say, grinding one tank over and over, or anything outside of the setup I like doing. At this point, you know, honestly, one of the least favorite things in tanks is the grind element. I love the game, but I've played it for so long that if I play the same tank, say for an hour straight, I'll pretty much turn from being, you know, I'm usually pretty relaxed. It starts stressing me out because I get bored. You know, I like playing different tanks. I have 277 of them to where it's never been a thing I've enjoyed to just grind one tank for, you know, say hours on end. Some people enjoy it, but at this point in tanks for me, I like unlocking new tanks, but I like doing it at a somewhat slower pace. But the Chinese TDs, you know, they'd be on my list to get down the road, but at this point, the Russian TDs will come before that, because more people want to see me play Russian TDs. Let's say I don't think he's gonna pop around. Okay, he just shot. It's time to get in here. Hopefully, is my team actually gonna push? I really hope that my team pushes here. It's not looking like it. Nope, none of them pushed around. That was a risk that I should probably not have taken, but yeah, literally none of them pushed around. Like, yeah, there's an E4 there, guys, but oh well. Or I guess the WZ pushed, but he pushed a little bit too far. But anyway, I've kind of been playing like crap the past few matches, but this is my last battle. I have a pretty big list of things I have to do today before Ryan gets home. The winner is CJ. Congratulations. The next stream that I have scheduled will be this upcoming Wednesday. 7 p.m. is the start time, so tomorrow. It's going to run 7 to 10 p.m. After that, my next stream won't be until Sunday, starting at 8 p.m. But for the next morning stream, for those of you who only can catch mornings, it'll be next Tuesday, starting at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But thank you, Shub. Didn't exactly turn out as well as I hoped, but yeah. I banked on my team following me there, and only one of us bit the bullet. Looking back, though, I should have just waned it out. But anyway, thanks again for watching, guys. It was a pretty fun stream. Don't be surprised. The stream clips, because one of the things on my list to do today is get some of these stream clips out. I'm in the final stages, finally, of I've got the thumbnails done. I just need to set up the video descriptions and everything. But anyway, thank you very much for the tips today, specifically Joe Biden's hair plugs. And see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. If not, Sunday. See you around.